Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, worrying if you've made the right decision about your money? Wondering if the person guiding you on your financial future really knows what they're doing? It's a fear that grips many of us, and unfortunately, it's a fear that's often justified. You see, choosing a financial advisor is like entrusting someone with the keys to your treasure chest. You're placing your hard earned money, your dreams, your family's future into their hands. But how can you be sure that they're the right person? How do you know that they won't lead you down a path filled with financial pitfalls, overpayments, and lost opportunities? I'm Dhevan, and I'm here to help you navigate this crucial aspect of your financial journey. Now, I understand the frustration and fear that you're going through because I've seen it in the eyes of many clients who have come to me after having been misguided. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 secret tips beyond just qualifications, legal obligations, and that will help you determine if you have the right financial advisor. Now, these aren't just ordinary tips. These are insights gained from years of experience, and they could be the key to protecting your financial future. So stay tuned because what I'm about to share with you might save you from financial disaster and set you on a path to achieving your dreams. Now, let's unlock that secret to, or the secrets to choosing the right financial advisor, shall we? I'm heading over to the iPad, and maybe towards the end, if you're watching towards the end, I'm going to share with you a secret bonus tip. Right? So, tip number 1 is it should be about you. Everything should be about you. Now, how I like to do this when I'm engaging, so assuming that you're engaging with me, I want to start with a blank page. I want to start with a blank page, and then I want to start asking you questions about you. Now, the way that I want you to imagine this, right? Imagine you had been over to a doctor's place. The doctor doesn't know exactly what's going on. So the doctor is going to start to ask you questions. And those questions are going to help the doctor have an understanding as to what the symptoms are, what the problems are, and then the doctor is going to prescribe. And the same should happen here. You see, everything should be about you. That means there must not be any preconceived plans. You want to make sure that the financial advice is checking to see what are you trying to achieve? What are your goals? What are the things that are important to you? See, where are you at in your particular life stage? So what stage of life are you in? Are you just starting off with your family? Have you come to a stage where you're wanting to settle your bond? Have you come to a stage where you're getting into your retirement? Or in the case of a government employee, are you in that important decision of in that important phase of having to decide whether to retire or resign? So notice everything has to be around you, not about the financial advisor, the advisor's qualifications. It's got to be around you. It's got to be around your goals and the things that you feel is important to you, right? And how do you know this? The financial advisor is going to do exactly what the doctor does, which is asking a lot of questions. Meaning, in that initial consult, especially, a lot of the talking is going to be done by you. Right? Again, it's important because you want to feed as much information as possible. And again, let's assume that you're talking to me and we're meeting for the first time. I need to know a lot about you. And then the more I know about you, the better I can go about creating a plan that's specific to you. So that's the first secret that I want to share with you. It should be all about you. Second secret tip is it must be results driven. It must be results driven, right? Meaning you are engaging with a financial advisor because you want to make some type of change. Maybe you want to save on tax, and I've given you some examples here. Maybe you want to grow your wealth. So, whatever it is, you want to start to see some type of benefit in this aspect. Now, we know there are only 2 certainties in life, which is death and taxes. So, for me, a key area in financial planning must center around how much of tax I can save you. Now, why I say this is so essential, because without the guidance, let's say we don't interact, you know for sure you're going to be paying the tax. And if I can put you in a place where I can create some tax saving, then I'm putting money back in your pocket that you would have lost anyways. One. Secondly, I'm now paying for myself. So I'm not becoming an expense to you, I'm becoming a partner to your success. So just for me personally, I feel results driven. One of the key factors should be tax planning. The second factor here, which I've listed, should be on growing your wealth. Now, in terms of the wealth growing that capital, there are different elements in which you can grow capital, right? So it's not just in terms of return perspective. And I want you to be extremely mindful of this, right? To grow capital, or let me rather say to grow wealth, there are multiple ways that can be done. Yeah, multiple ways, right? One way I've just shared with you, and that is tax saving. So if you are paying less in tax, it means you can grow your wealth, right? It's one way. The second way is in terms of return. Now, please be cautious because often I see this mistake happening, right? Where clients come to me saying that the advisor said that the focus is only on the return, meaning where to invest money, which fund is performing well, and they go on that path. Now, the markets are uncertain, so it's difficult to use that as a key factor. However, there's certain strategic decisions that can be made when it comes to investing around that particular return, right? So I don't want you to focus only on the return. The next is from a cost perspective. See, if I can put you in a position where you are paying less cost on your investment, then in essence, more of the money is going into your capital, which means you're growing more. Additionally, we can also have a look, which I'll share with you in the bonus stage. Actually, let me leave that for the bonus stage, right? Which will be the fourth tip that I want to share with you today. But I want you to see this. There are multiple ways in which you can get results. One can be from tax, another can be from return, reducing costs, but it should all be aimed at putting you in a better position than before you engage with a financial advisor. Otherwise, what's the point of engaging with a financial advisor? Now, let's go with secret tip number 3. It's got to be simple and easy to understand. And why I say this is such a crucial factor, because in the beginning, and I've seen this from all clients who have come to me, you want to start establishing trust, right? If you don't know me, that's the first thing you want to do. You want to see, okay, can I trust him? Is he someone who's genuinely interested in helping me? And unless you overcome the trust barrier, you can't really move forward with any of the elements. Let me explain. Suppose I can show you ways how to save on tax. I can show you ways how to grow your capital. I can show you ways how to protect your family. So if you're wanting to create a legacy, if you're a government employee, suppose I can show you which path is better, right? So your best route. Now, suppose I have all that knowledge and I'm imparting the knowledge to you. However, you haven't yet established the trust in me. Now, because you don't have the trust in me, you're not going to act on this. You're not going to act on this, which means you cannot get the tax saving. You will not be able to grow capital. You're going to be reluctant. Maybe you may take some of the solutions, but not all of it. So you're not getting the best value out of this. But if I can show you things in a way that's simple and easy for you to understand, based on your situation, remember secret tip number 1 is it should all be about you. So if I can have a look at that and I show you that, it makes sense to you, now the trust starts to become established, in which case you're ready to take action, you're ready to implement. And when you're ready to implement, it's tax saving, capital, legacy, all of those elements can now come into play. So it must be simple and easy to understand. The next thing, why I say it must be simple and easy to understand, is it must be practical to you. See, when I talk about it being simple and easy to understand, it must be practical to you and your situation. Because again, if it's not practical, if it's complicated, if it's a lot about industry jargon and markets and things that you are not familiar with, then you're just going to feel lost. And if you're feeling lost, what I've noticed sometimes is we feel afraid to ask questions. And when we're afraid to ask questions, we don't want to be perceived as ignorant. So then you might just go ahead with the solution. And you're going ahead with a solution that might not be optimal, you see, because it might not be explained well, and you don't know whether this is going to work out or not, right? And if you don't, then isn't it this? If you don't know whether something's going to work for you, isn't it a gamble? And proper financial advice, proper financial planning should never feel like a gamble. You should know the results, right? You should know the outcome. So that's secret tip number 3. And then I mentioned to you, I've got a bonus tip that I want to share with you, right? And the bonus tip is this. It's all about regular reviews, right? Now, when it comes to this step, you want to make sure that that financial advisor is touching base with you on a regular basis. Now, by law, we need to do the review 1 time in a year, right? So 1 times yearly. Now, depending on your situation, right? If it's a government employee that I'm working with, I like to review a lot more frequently. I like to do the reviews on a monthly basis because then I know you're investing your entire capital, especially if you're resigning. And I want you to see every single month that I have eyes on it and also that you can get to see exactly what's performing with your capital, right? Now, let's say legally you are doing the one time a year. That's still great, okay? Because this is the requirement. And again, maybe it's suitable based on your situation. Now, for these type of reviews, it shouldn't just be an updated statement where you're getting to see the values, right? Again, it depends on your situation. But you want to start to see, or you want the advisor to check with you, what has changed? Pay careful attention because this is crucial. You want to see what has changed. Now, lots could have changed, right? Maybe you've settled your bond inside that year. Maybe you've settled some debt. See, maybe you've had a child in that year. Maybe you've purchased some type of property. So something could have changed in that year. And that change might spur on a change in terms of your financial planning. So you might have to go back to revisit. Now, why I say this is such a crucial element, because very often when the reviews are not done, then this becomes the problem. See, you could end up paying more than you should. And you won't know about it because your situation hasn't been reviewed. And I've seen this happening time and time again, right? I'll use a simple example. Let's say right now, you're still in your working career. You're still working. And you're going to reach a stage where you're going to retire. Or in the case of a government employee, you get to a stage that if you want to take control, you're aiming at resigning. Now, notice your situation has changed. It's changed because maybe you took out policies here at this time, and that those policies were appropriate for you back then. However, now you're entering into a new phase. And because you're entering into a new phase, what was appealing for you and important for you back then might not be so important now. Because maybe your bond is settled. Maybe your kids are now no longer staying with you. You see, your situation's changed. So this is why it's critically important that you have this review done. So your bonus tip here, you want to get into some type of commitment from the advisor. You need the advisor to tell you, hey, I'm going to do the reviews for you at this interval so that you get to see. You want the reviews to be engaging. And again, you want the review to be looking at your set of circumstances to determine whether anything needs to change, right? So ideally, you're looking at some type of saving or new opportunities to grow, or sometimes there might be a new insurance company product, in which case you want to get information in to see if that's going to be practical for you. So that's it. You've got 3 secret tips, plus I've given you a bonus tip. Now, I had this question from my YouTube channel where a member had asked me, how do I know if I've got the right advisor? And this is what inspired me to create the video. So comment below and let me know. These 3 tips, plus the bonus tip, the 4th one, does this help give you clarity in terms of how to choose a financial advisor? Also want to know from you, where else are you feeling stuck in terms of your journey? So post a comment below to let me know. Also, if you found the video helpful, remember to give me a thumbs up. So now I'm doing the right thing and giving the right information to you. And if you've not already done so, I encourage you to subscribe so that when I'm producing the next video, you're able to see it as soon as possible. I'll catch you on the next video.